So I wanted to start this off 2 years ago, and I started doing it quietly by going to the different sites that I had targeted. Many of you are here, and I'd like to thank you for coming over. And I've explained this to you several times, and I'm happy to say that I've already met the criteria for starting a national program set by DOH, wherein they have actually divided the Philippines into 8 sites. And when you start a program, you should have at least 1 sentinel site per region. So all of those 8 regions are actually here represented, and more than actually the 8 sites that I have identified initially, because many other groups, many other hospitals volunteered to help out in the program. So what is the proposed Philippine program for Clubfoot? I don't have a title yet. These are all just really suggestions at the moment. So I was thinking that it's going to be a long-haul program. It will take years to keep this going. So it's some sort of a journey. So I was thinking initially of saying the word or titling it as Ponseti Clubfoot Caravan. All right? Of course, the main working theme for this is healing children 1 foot at a time. And this program aims to actually eradicate neglected clubfoot in the Philippines. As I've said earlier, our figures show that about 80% of our clubfoot are neglected clubfoot, and we want to eradicate that with this program. And the way to do it is to provide Ponseti method of treatment for every child with clubfoot. So we have to start identifying all children with clubfoot and ensuring that they get the proper treatment using the Ponseti method. So how do we achieve this? First of all, of course, as in any program, you need fuel. Okay? And manpower fuel plus monetary fuel. So you have to establish Ponseti Clubfoot Caravan partners or hospitals. Okay? Both partners and hospitals. The partners, of course, are the ones who will give about or help us with the monetary aspect of the program, while the hospitals are the one who will provide the manpower. And some of the initial NGOs that already are helping us are Coffee Foundation or the Circle of Friends Foundation. They've been sponsoring some kids, treatment of some kids with clubfoot. I've talked with some Cure International representatives before, and they said that they're interested. I think they're very active in Davao, so perhaps the Davao group could tap this organization. And then we've talked about with the Rotary International, UNICEF. We said that they're really also very interested. We just have to formalize with them and do a memorandum of agreement regarding this. And Children's Hour said they're also willing to fund. So there's so many NGOs out there who are actually willing to help us. And lately, I think USAID also is willing to help as long as we show them a good program and how we're going to help with this one. Hospitals, the first few hospitals that have started to be a part of this, of course, St. Luke's is one of the first because it was initiated here at the Philippine Orthopedic Center. And then we have the Davao Medical Center, and now there are many hospitals who have volunteered to be a part of it. Next objective, of course, is what we are doing now, is to conduct regular Ponseti workshop in cooperation, most especially with Ponseti International Association, in order for us to be able to do a workshop properly. As said earlier, casting and manipulation is not equivalent to Ponseti method. So Ponseti method is a specific way of casting, a specific way of treating relapses, and so on and so forth. So we have to make sure that when we conduct workshop, we conduct it properly. And it's the Ponseti International Association who has set the standards on how to conduct a Ponseti workshop properly. Third objective, of course, is to establish a Ponseti method satellite clinics. Okay, you cannot do it like me. I cannot do it on my own. The reason why I started going around the countries and meeting you guys is those are throwing a seed in each of the sentinel sites so that you could start developing your centers of excellence, Ponseti clinics in your particular area, so that you don't have to send the patients to me. You could still send them if you want, but then of course it would be nice if you yourself could actually treat these patients, especially those patients who don't have any money to go over to Manila. So, what are the 8 sentinel sites? We start with National Capital Region. Of course, on the forefront is St. Luke's Medical Center, is the private hospital partner, and then the tertiary Government Hospital Partners Philippine Orthopedic Center. Now, all the other hospitals in CNCR are actually welcome to join this. Now, what I'm just talking is about now will be the core group. In fact, there are other groups now who are part of it, but I won't be able to mention you at this point. And then we have the Ilocos region. Cagayan Valley, I think Dr. Noli Beltran from Cagayan Valley is here. I saw Dr. Brabante a while ago, okay? And so they're represented. And then Baguio General Hospital, Dr. Pagaw is common here as well. So they're the sentinel site in Ilocos region. Central Luzon, Angeles Group is around, presented by Dr. Tranquilino. And then the Calabar Zone. Calabar Zone, we have the University Medical Center, from LaSalle, residents are around, from New Sinai, and of course from Laguna, we have Dr. Garcia and his group. Okay? And then we have Western Visayas, Dr. Paiva's group. Corazon Montelibono is the tertiary government hospital there, and the Riverside is a private hospital. So Central Visayas, the Chonghua Medical Center, Vicente Soto is at BID. Northern Mindanao, of course, the North Mindanao Center was, I think, the first group that supported this, represented by Dr. Amonte, Dr. Peter Calvit, who will give the report later. And the other very, very active group is Southern Mindanao, presented by Davao Medical Center, Dr. Bajon Reyes and his group. Okay. So once you have established those sentinel sites, then you have to develop a database. Because the only way you could come up with a good project is if you have a well-documented patient. Okay? And so it's very, very important that we have a database. Because you could always say, oh, I've seen about 10 patients, 50 patients, and then what are those patients about? And then you cannot say anything because you don't have them well documented. So again, these hospitals that I mentioned are the ones who will be keeping this database with the help of the central group. Okay? There is an international database developed by Ponseti International Association, and the plan is actually to link up with them and make our database a part of their database in the near future. And hopefully we'll be able to develop a Philippine portal into that international database. Okay? And then, so we have the different hospitals. Of course, it's not enough that you have the hospital. You have to have the people, the core team, the ones who are dedicated enough to support the program. Otherwise, it will fizzle out. And again, we have identified this core team. I just give sample core teams for Southern Mindanao. We have Dr. Bajon Reyes, still around. Can you stand up, please? Represented by Dr. Bajon Reyes from Davao. And then there is a Cotabato group, Dems de Matingcal, yes. So from Cotabato, so that's 2 group already. And then, so that's the rest of the team. And then Central Luzon, as I said, Dr. Tranquilino, Dr. Emil Tablante, these are the Pampanga group. I hope other provinces in Central Luzon will also join us. And Central Luzon has identified actually already, this is the formula by Department of Health that I'm following, that in one area you should have one government tertiary hospital that is a part of the program, another one private, at least, okay, this is at least one private tertiary hospital. So for the Central Luzon team, they have identified Angeles Medical Center as the government hospital. Jose Lingan is the private hospital. Oh no, it's the other way around. Jose Lingan will be the government hospital. And local government is Hospital ng Angeles. They still have to identify the community-based clinic. Okay, so that's how it should be in every area, so even in Cotabato. And then for the Central East Visayas, this is the thing that I really need to have a good grasp on, and hopefully with the help of Dr. Floyd Delis and Dr. Floyd Delis Jr., who is my resident right now, we will be able to have a solid footing in Central East Visayas. So that they have already identified the tertiary government as Vicente Soto, and private tertiary is Chonghua Medical Center. Okay, and so after that we also have the Western Visayas, who have a very nice, they will be presenting later on, they have a very nice organizational setup.